and welcome to the business of being a virtual assistant. I'm your host, Tiffany Parson, and you're watching and listening to episode number 162. I'll tell you for sure, I have no idea what we're going to talk about today because my mind is on the holiday. I'm already thinking about the holiday and not necessarily the food or the gathering of family and friends, but of complete downtime. I'm looking forward to laying on the sofa and watching Hallmark movies on Thanksgiving. That is what I'm most looking forward to, in all honesty. Everything else is like, do I really have to? So anyway, that's what I'm looking forward to, and most likely that will happen on Black Friday. I am going to have my feet up and not be working on Black Friday or Thanksgiving either, but I'll be socializing with family and friends, so in a way it's kind of like working. All right, so anyway, let's get into today's episode. You know, the other night my husband and I went to Barnes & Noble. And I have not been inside of the bookstore in years. It's been way too long since I've been inside of the bookstore, and I really missed going in there. So now I know I have to make sure that I get into the bookstore more frequently, because as soon as I walked through the doors and I heard the calming music and seeing all the books and the magazines, I was just drawn in, really drawn in. And I miss the inspiration from the bookstore, being inspired just because of being in that environment with all the different books and people. And I don't mean people that were in the store, and this might be me just getting a little too deep about it, but all the authors that are represented in the bookstore. The books represent an author's vision, a dream, their creativity, their words. And for me, that really inspires me. In the earlier days of my business, I would spend a lot of time in the bookstore because a lot of my work I would do outside of the house just to get away. And I don't have to do that anymore, but I realized just last night that I need to do it just for that factor of getting some inspiration and allowing a different type of creativity to spark. So anyway, what it made me do was pull up some books that I hadn't gotten a chance to look at on my Kindle, which usually what happens is to the blooper reel. If you guys could have seen me, I've leaned it over on this thing and it is not stable. It's just kind of placed on top of this stand just so I can have somewhere to write, not necessarily to lean on. Oh gosh. Okay. But what it made me do was look at some books on my Kindle. And what I usually do is if I hear the name of a book that interests me, I will grab my Kindle or grab my phone and pull up the Kindle app, pull up the title of the book, and download the sample. And that is how I, instead of trying to keep track of a list of book titles, I just grab the sample, put it on my Kindle, and it'll always be there. And then that way, not only will I remember the book title, but I can read the sample as well. So if it's really good and I want the whole thing, then I'll go from there and deciding whether I want the full book, the Kindle, or check it out from the library. And all of this in the short period of time that we were in Barnes & Noble. And so the book I'm reading now is called The $1 Million One Person Business. Let me see if I can pull up the cover for you. The $1 Million One Person Business, and it is by, hold on, let me get it all here. This is me thinking off the fly, off the cuff. Wasn't even planning on showing you this book, but I want you to see it. But how can I get the cover up? And I've been using a Kindle for years, and I did not read the instruction book for this, for the Kindle when I first got it. So to even know how to easily, there we go, get to the cover and all that stuff, it's like, okay, why does it take me so long? All right, so this is what I'm reading right now. And I started reading the sample last night. So if you're wondering, well, what are you reading on your Kindle? That's where I am reading this sample. And there's this other book that we've been reading that's not business related, but I'll share with you anyway because it might be helpful to you. It's really good. My husband and I are teaching a singles class at our church, and this is one of the sources for our class. It's really good. Let me see if I can get it to turn vertical. 10 Rules of Dating in the social media age. Oh, get the whole thing for you. There you go. So that's the other book that I am reading. So, and usually I read nonfiction. I try to get into fiction, but I'm so far removed from fiction books that it's hard. So if you are reading a really good fiction book, something that, helps you to relax and to, rest your mind and just, kind of check out instead of watching a movie, let me know in the comments of a good fiction book that you're enjoying. It's the holiday season. We need a little downtime, a little. Now, let's talk business. Okay, business owner to business owner. Let's talk about it. Holiday season. How are we handling this, right? If it's your first year in business or you're on the fence, let me tell you right now, there is no perfect start time. Don't think you're going to wait. Oh, I'm going to wait till after the holidays, because after the holidays will end up being like February 14th. So don't wait until after the holidays. So enough of that. Now, if you've been in business for 2 to 3 years and you've got some experience on the holiday season, my tip for you is to use how things flow to decide how you want them to flow for the next time. This is what I mean. My first year in business, I worked all through the holidays. I was so excited because I started working full-time in my business in September of 2008. And I was so excited. I was full steam ahead because September, October, November, those months came so quick and I didn't want to stop. So yeah, I was available. I was grabbing projects, whatever. And it was tough, but I was really into it. I was excited. So that first year I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to work through the holidays. So second year rolls around and I do the same thing on work through the holidays, but this time around it's been a full year. And I realized I didn't really like working on the holidays. It was exciting the first year because everything was so new, but the second year, everything was not so new and I've been full steam ahead the whole year, and I really needed to totally wind down and just enjoy the holiday season. For those of you with a family, with children, I mean, this may seem odd or like a no-brainer. Of course, you're going to have, enjoy the holidays with family and friends and kids and husband and all this stuff. But at the time, I was single, very single, super single is what I used to call it, meaning never been married, no kids. And so the holidays weren't really a big deal. So I had plenty of time to, work. So by the second year, I realized even though I have this time, I need to just chill. Not for a whole week or anything, but take a couple of days and just chill and then jump back in. And so that is the mode that I have been operating in since then. Is to take a few days and just chill. And that's where I am now. So this is, let's see, 2008. So this is 2019, the 11th holiday season where I was in business, because I started not too much before the holiday season started. So the 11th season of the holidays in business, and I'm feeling like I need more than a few days. It's, Thanksgiving is towards the end of the week. It's early in the week, and I am like my brain just wants to do fun things, just fun stuff. Nothing hard, never overthinking it. I just want to do fun things that come second nature. And the work that I do is not hard, but if it's too mentally involved, that's it. Too mentally involved, I need a break. And so that's where I am. I need a break. So I'm slowly winding things down. I've got a strategy session this week, and so that's like the biggie to close out the holiday week. Then I can totally turn off and then, cut it right back on in time for next week. Here's something I know about myself, is that if I turn it off for too long, it will be hard to turn it back on. So a few days and then turn it back on. I remember I posted on the Facebook page and I asked if anybody worked weekends. And I had one person to respond, and it was like a little GIF, and it was a little cat that's like, nope. But weekends for me are cool to work because there are no deadlines for the weekend. So I can do a little stop, and be done with it. So anyway, I'm chatting your head off, but this is just where I am today and this week. And I'll share something else a little personal with you. I did something crazy and had some tests done because I want to get healthier. And I wasn't thinking about New Year's resolution or 2020 or anything like that. But it's one of those things where sometimes you wake up and it's like, it's time. For example, for years, I was a nail biter. I bit my nails, my hands for years, like elementary school years up until late 30s. And then I woke up one day and decided, you know what, I want to do something about this. And then I knew for sure whatever I tried, I was going to be committed to it. I was ready. Same with my hair. I've been getting relaxers since maybe, I can't remember if it was elementary or junior high, but maybe right on the edge of it. But anyway, years. And then woke up one day and decided, you know what, I'm not going to put any more chemicals in my hair. I'm not going to get relaxer anymore. I'm just going to let it grow out. And that is that. So it's been 11 months. This is the 11th month of not doing relaxers. So same thing about getting healthy. So I decided, I want to do something about this. I'm totally committed. So I had a food sensitivity test done and hormone levels test. I haven't gotten those back yet. I'll get those back next week and learn, all that. But anyway, the food is the main thing. So y'all, I wasn't thinking about Thanksgiving or, Christmas. I wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. I'm committed now. I decided I want to be healthy. So I learned that I have food sensitivities, which is not an immediate allergy. A food sensitivity means that your body has trouble processing certain types of foods or whatever it may be, or spice. And it may take days or weeks for you to notice the reaction, which means you may not even connect the dots that that's what it was. So some things that stand out to me the most that this test came up with is that I have a food sensitivity to milk, cow's milk. So anything with milk is a no for me. Okay, no milk, nothing with milk. And I'm not a milk drinker, so that wasn't a big deal. But if you think about all the things that have cow's milk in it. Okay, fine. So we all know that bread and things that turn into sugar are not good for us. We know this. But I learned that I have a food sensitivity to wheat. So it's not just a choice of, I don't want to eat bread because I know it turns into sugar and that's just going to, add fat or all these things that it does. But no, I have a food sensitivity to wheat. So I can't just say gluten-free, because what I learned is that gluten-free is not necessarily wheat-free. So can you imagine? Here I am, trying to get through the holidays. So anyway, this is what's all on my mind. And I want to tell you, because as a business owner, we have a million things going on in our heads. And it's not all just one dimensional about business. And maybe this is where you are too. I don't know. And if this is not helping you at all, no biggie. But hopefully it's helping at least one person. So anyway, learn how food sensitivity to wheat, and on top of that, because I thought, oh, I'm gonna, I'll just find somewhere and get the gluten-free bread. Then I learned, okay, no, it's gotta be wheat-free, not just gluten-free. So I go to this website, look up the different breads. Believe it or not, they do have bread that is gluten-free and wheat-free. However, I also have a food sensitivity to flaxseed and chia seed. So the breads that were gluten-free and wheat-free had flaxseed and chia seed. Okay, great. Oh man, the other thing that stood out is that I have a sensitivity to egg. So, no mac and cheese for me this year, or ever, unless I'm not all up on cauliflower this and cauliflower that. I'm not there yet. It's only been a couple of weeks. I'm just to the point where I'm just trying to pull things out and see what's left. So it's pretty much meat, vegetables, and fruit is what I've been eating. I'm trying to think. Those are the big ones. There's some others too, like peanut, that I have sensitivities to, but those were the things that I was just like, oh, really, really, really sad about. And my favorite coffee that had hemp seed, chaga mushrooms. It's organic, it's non-GMO, it's gluten-free, vegan, all these wonderful things, but I can no longer drink it because I have a food sensitivity to hemp seed. And you might think, well, it's just sensitivity, it won't be a big deal. But she's like, okay, the foods that are in the red, because she gave me a handout, the foods that are in the red are an absolute no for your body. Absolute no. Not just like because it's unhealthy. No, your body has a bad reaction to it. And I probably could have guessed, especially about the food for Thanksgiving, because I would enjoy it. I would eat my food, but I would be so sick. I wouldn't say anything, but I would. I'd be sick, feeling nauseous, all these different things. And pepper. Pepper, y'all have food sensitivity to pepper. So that's another whole thing. So a lot going on in the brain this year. And I was like, I was not even thinking that this is a holiday and maybe I should wait till 2020. But it's probably good that I didn't wait until 2020. Just like I'm saying, for those of you that are on the edge and want to should you start, there is no perfect time. Because if you wait, if I had waited till 2020, it would have been February before I contacted the wellness doctor to get what I needed done. So anyway, that is that. This is like a different kind of episode. I just needed, sometimes you just want to get some things off your chest and share and give tips along the way. But this is really where I am. When I was thinking about what to share with you on the podcast, podcast episode today, it's like these things kept, coming up in my mind. So now that I have shared it, all is clear, and I'll have some wonderful other business tips for you in next week's episode. But in the meantime, I encourage you to look for something that inspires you, whether it's the bookstore or you need to read or draw or do something that you enjoyed that was fun for you in your youth. something to bring that back so that you can bring that into your business. I hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving if you're in the United States, and if you celebrate Thanksgiving or just use that as a time to get together with your family and friends to have a wonderful meal. I hope you enjoy that time, and I look forward to seeing you, to hearing from you rather, in the comments. Share with me what you're reading, what you're doing this holiday season, and ask me questions related to your virtual assistant business, and I would love to help. You have a wonderful and blessed day.